Hello? Is it working now? Okay. John, Viking, Vince, what's up, guys? You all should be hearing me now. The RTX, of course, the RTX audio is being weird on me. Don't know why. Well, you guys look at my super messy table there. Let's change that up. Let's do that. All right. I do need to charge this phone. You still not hearing me? Audio okay? Hey, sound. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. So what's going on, guys? Another week has gone by. It's made some progress on some things in the shop, and some other things not so much progress, but most of the process of downsizing. My printer farm had a little too many, and with as often as I move, it's time to, reduce the numbers a little bit. Printers I haven't used in quite a long time, and I'm getting more into the custom builds, which have been really fun lately, and I need to make room for those. So sadly, I've had to say goodbye to quite a few printers to make room for more. But I do have some awesome projects coming up, and I have a few things that came in that I don't know if I want to start modeling tonight or not, but I think I might wait for the motor to come in. So the one thing, if anybody watched my palette video, is the Palette 2S Pro, is that you have to wind by hand. So using it to do basically just spool a bunch of spools together, excuse me, to make one transition spool, which I have one here. So here's a transition spool that I made. It's got a bunch of different, probably like 6 or 7 different filaments on here, all PLAs from MakerBox I had left over. And the problem was standing there, winding it by hand. Okay, dinner. Oh crap. There's no way to pause it, so I'm just gonna set it way over here, and hopefully it doesn't get too tangled when I'm gone. That's rough. So my goal is to make a spool winder to be able to match the speed that the palette puts out, or go just slightly slower than that. I mean, I'm always going to be around, usually always going to be around when it is making the filament for me. So just need to get as close as possible. So what I went ahead and bought was I think it was a 12 volt DC motor, and then I bought this DC motor driver. And this has a potentiometer on it. We've got a LCD display output of the RPMs that we're doing. And then we have a little on-off switch. And this is a fully all-in-one motor driver set. And I'm pretty sure this is 12 volt. Not going to take much power, and I have some pretty small 12 volt power supplies that I should be able to use this with, or it's 5 volt. I don't really remember. I'll have to look at the documentation again. But basically, it's just a little speed controller for a DC motor, and I think that will be a really nice touch. Just kind of get this, we'll get the LCD in there, we'll get the power switch down below it like that, put the potentiometer right above it, just kind of go like bam, bam, bam right there in the system, and kind of go from there. I did find an STL that I liked as a really good base for what I want to do. It's something similar that someone had made, but it's not using quite the same electronics that I want to use. And I'm going to modify that object to fit all of these little parts. But I'm going to wait till the motor comes in, because I think I want to try and do a proof of concept first, and just make sure that things spin okay and whatnot, because I really don't want to spend like 3 hours modeling something and then it like totally not work. So that would be kind of a bummer. And I am dropping a few frames. I am sorry for that. Looks like my bitrate is a little all over the place tonight. Usually I stream at about 2.6, 2.8 megs. I'm going from 3 megs down to 1.6 megs, it looks like. So if you get a little bit of irregularity, sorry about that. Eduardo, what is up? And I'm fixing something for a friend right now. I'm printing out the parts for him. So he's got this cake stand here, and they've got like these platters that go in them, but they're tiered like this. And this one goes on like this, and there's 3 of them that all link together to make. I mean, it can be also like the display stand. It can be for cupcake. It can be all kinds of stuff. But they lost one of their metal pieces for it, and it's threaded on one side. Then it's got a little stopper here, so that when it goes in, it only goes in so far. See, it stops right there. So I went ahead, just opened up Fusion and created this in 5 minutes. This itty bitty little part here, you can see down the screen there. And it just slots into the one, and the top where it is threaded, I did not thread it. I'm using ABS on this to make it nice and strong. And that just fits into it just like that. And I mean, it's ABS, it's strong. And these are metal, they're not light. But I think a clear coat kind of just to seal the ABS would be a valid option. That was version 1, and then version 2 is here. Version 2 is slightly stronger, and the tolerances are a little tighter. So the version 1 was a smidge loose, a little looser than I liked. This one has a pretty satisfying, I probably get a little closer if I print big and then maybe sand it down a bit. The ABS sands really, really well. Something that Aaron reminds me of all the time, as he's the ABS king. But yeah, I think this will work out just right. Again, this is just like a display stand that they use for birthday parties, stuff like that. And they were going to get rid of it because can't really use it without that other part. But now they can because I've made it for them. So I'm going to go ahead and just print out, I think I'm just going to print out 2 more. But I do need to separate them because I got some huge warping on the FT5 by printing 2 of them at once and too fast. So I'm going to slow my print way down. This one was at 15 millimeters a second because I was printing TPU on there and I forgot. And then this one was faster. Brandon, I know, she said it was okay. I'm just going to hang out for like an hour and then I'll be done. So we'll start the timer. I've been 8 minutes in. So she said I can have a little bit of me time. She's working on some video thing for one of her friends. She's making a little video for them. So she's busy with that. I will be doing this for a little bit. Yeah, but the table of things I need to fix for the kid is nonstop. They keep breaking these magic track cars. I don't know if you guys have little kids, but these things are such absolute garbage. They break so easily. I did fix this one. By fix, I mean glue the crap out of it now because they broke all of the mounts where the screws mount to the top housing. They broke every one of those off. So I've gone ahead and just super glued the crap out of it, and that's going to stay together. Vincent, what's up? Oh, printing and painting. What's up, dude? Didn't see you there. I had to epoxy this fan. This fan needs to get out of my office now because that's now fixed. It is, again, if any of you are parents, and especially if you are, I'm not going to say dad, I mean moms are crafty too, but if you are a fix-it parent, whether it be dad or mom, your kids always break things and they always will bring it to you and say, can you fix this? Somebody broke this. Always that. Always, always, always. I'm going to clean up here just a smidge while I'm hanging out. And again, if anybody has any questions on anything, please feel free to ask them tonight. I don't really have anything going on aside from cleaning up, moving the office around, trying to get ready for the next batch of projects. I do have mail coming on Monday, which is going to have a lot of stuff. So it's going to have the smooth rods for the bear. I'm hoping it has the standoffs for the bear. If not, I do have some, I guess they're nylon. They're like the plastic nylon ones. So I went ahead, I have those in case the metal ones don't come in for the bear build. But with those 2 parts, I can finish the bear build. So I'm thinking that's gonna be Monday night. There's gonna be the y-axis and the calibration of the bear. I don't think we're gonna be printing with the bear on Monday night, but at least I know I'll be able to get the calibration done on that. I have no idea where the heated pad is for the BLV. Let me look real quick, see what 17 track says. Okay. Oh, that's already here. So if you guys don't use like an app to track, I'm really enjoying 17 track because I order things from Amazon and AliExpress and eBay and all these places, and Ally's not the best at giving you up-to-date information. So a friend told me about 17 track. I've used it online. I didn't know they had an app, but they like save everything in there for you, and it's very easy, and it translates all the Chinese because that's always a big pain in the butt. So I think it'll be pretty good. So I want to look for the ice pump's done. That's here. Sink. Bit's not here yet. The BLV heated bed. It has not gone anywhere yet. So it's still in China. And like I said, it's kind of cool. It gives you all of the, you see all the Chinese there, but then there's a translate button. I can hit that and it, boom, translate everything right there. Makes it really easy to see what it's going through. So this one came from Beijing, got to Shenzhou city, and then back to Beijing EMS, and that was on July 13th that it was dispatched. So hasn't made it to the US yet, and is still on its way from China to the US on a literal slow boat. My NeoPixel rings for the BLV were lost, so I contacted them. They refunded me, and they're sending me a new set. So those will get here eventually. But yeah, so it will be a good day Monday to get the rest of some of that other stuff in to finish some builds. Stefan, what's up, dude? Just had my son tell me, Daddy the rescue. That's funny. Yeah, these cars are mostly glue. I'm actually gonna need to order some more epoxy. I am down to like the last little bit of epoxy. Maybe, yeah, I mean, in last inch in there. Don't have much left. Definitely when I move, I will be picking up some more of this Loctite epoxy to take with me because it has been a lifesaver. I use it pretty sparingly so that because I can't order in glues. You can't because it's flammable, and glues here suck. So I brought in my suitcases when I came a lot of the BSI super glue and accelerator. I've gone through about half of that in my years here. So I'm thinking I'll just need to pick up another, 1 or 2 bottles for the next place, and that will be all right. Let's watch right. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Battery's still good. I need to take it up to my room. I got down here somehow. But the Master Crane's working out pretty good. Actually the thumbnail for this video is the last print I got from Master Crane. Let me switch to here. So this is it's called like the Knight, and it came out to be a pretty good print. Let me just I don't want that little screen there. There we go. So this came off of there, and a few blemishes here and there. Obviously some obvious stringing is in there. As you can see in her neck to the armor up in here, a little bit of stringing in there. But overall, it was a doggone nice print. I mean, look at the sword sheath. I mean, yeah, you can see some of the layers on there, but again, this is a $120 completely DIY 3D printer. And I have to say, I'm rather impressed with the quality of that. I got nowhere near this kind of quality on like that Easy 3D little cube printer that I got that one time. That was like that toy for, that was the thing, it was like $160. Nowhere near even this. The only thing that didn't really work out was the sword. Mostly worked, but it is a very tiny print. This is the top of the sword that kind of just sits into the scabbard, and yeah, it doesn't fit properly. It kind of warped a bit when it was going down and doesn't fit. But either way, I am really satisfied with the results. It's not going to be perfect. I mean, it's not Megatron, it's not a Bear, it's not a Prusa, those are hundreds of dollars of machines, but I just wanted to see how good can I make a super duper cheap 3D printer. And that's where the challenge came from. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I'm trying to think what's some of the things come up. Oh, I'm trying to get so one of the guys on my Discord, he sometimes comes to live streams. I wonder if he'll be able tonight. Keith has been working a lot with me, so he's made a couple things so he's big with firmware and Marlin. So he actually works on Marlin for MKS to help them with their firmware and their support and things like that. And still dropping some frames here and there. Sorry about that. Get that out. So he's been helping me a lot with firmware things and just board questions because I'm just not that great with boards and things like that. But he also made me some bed images for Megatron and Master Crane. So here's Megatron's bed that he made for me. So this is the SVG that Aaron actually created. So kind of Decepticon-like, but not exactly. So I can avoid a little bit of copyright there. And then he also made Master Cranes here. There's Master Cranes. I'm going to print that again. And there's Master Crane's bed. It is to size the way it's supposed to be. That is the SVG that I made for Master Crane's logo. So it's kind of cool to have these because my problem with when I would go to the Prusa, I had the Prusa bed. Well, since I'm using the Prusa bed on Megatron, it was kind of annoying to not be able to differentiate my two printers and forget, and I would slice the wrong thing. So that's why this actually makes it so much easier. I can go to this, Megatron i3, boom, there it is. And I now have that. The scale is a little off on it, but that's totally cool with that. Make sure my thing is, if I have my bed set the right size, that would be why it isn't. Yeah, it's not right. So this, it's 250 by 210. It's Prusa. Max print on this one is not 210, it is 260. Goes higher. Save that. There we go. Now it's sized right. Yeah, I thought that looked off for a second there. But yeah, so that makes that really easy. So again, this is a lot of the community help. Chris, Travis, what is up, man? It's helpful because I don't know how to do this, and having people reach out to me like, hey, I made this for you. This is cool. I'm loving it. So if anybody in the community wants to help out with some of these things, hop on the Discord. There's some links down below, and you can help out with some of these crazy projects that I've been working on. And one of the next things to do is I have some things on order. So I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll talk a little more in depth about it now. I've been trying to reduce the cost to make Megatron. And several ways to reduce the cost, because again, it is basically a custom bear build. It's just using 2020 versus the bear's using 2040. And I've taken the liberty between Aaron and myself and a few parts I've downloaded online to kind of make a compilation of parts that I really like together to make that printer. And I'm trying to reduce the cost of it so that it's a little more affordable for everyone to make. So some of the ways to do that is we're not using a pin to probe. We're using a like $4 induction. So it just need to have the steel sheet, which we have. So that's a lot cheaper there for that. We're using a clone hot end, obviously. That's one of the cheapest ways on a printer. Any old motors work, but LDO sponsored the project, so I have LDOs on there, but you don't have to. My original build, which did print with that, was using my old Forgetech 2020 i3 motors, which are basically the cheapest you can get. And it was using those just fine. It just, LDOs are better, they look better, they run a little nicer. Other things to do. We're using an SKR instead of a NZ Rambo, so we don't have to worry about that. We're using a 32-bit board, which is really nice. Also using a standard power supply. You could use a Meanwhile, whatever else, but I'm using it's an $18 24-volt power supply that I've been using on a few printers now. People on the Discord have been using, and I've seen a lot of other people using this one. It's a fairly reliable, cheap 24 volt. It's 24 volt, 20 amps, I believe it is, for a power supply. It's 110 by 50 or 113 by 50, I think it is. So if any size power supply you use will fit with that, great. Another change I'm making is I'm ordering the parts that are coming in is we're going to use a different Y carriage. So instead of using a Prusa Y carriage, I'm actually going to use an Ender 3 Y carriage. And it's one of those metal ones. Let me pull it up here real quick. Three Y carriage. It is not one of those. Where is it at? That one. Da da dee da 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 da. Ender 3 carriage. Where is it at? I bought it from Amazon because they were like $1 more or less than Ally, and I think I have one coming on Monday. They might have made it here. Don't know if they made the shipment. Oh, here it is, right here. Not this one, but this is the same size. So it's the same, the ANET A8 and the, yeah, Eduardo, I'm dipping back and forth. Just lower it down to like 720 and it should be better for you. But my ping, I'm jumping over a place between like 1.9 megs and 3 megs. So I am streaming at 1080p. So that is going to do it a little bit. CPU is fine. It's purely my speed right now. So I do apologize for that. Anyways, yeah, so I'm using one of these Y carriages. The only thing I need to do is just drill it out because the mounting holes are not perfect for it. So there is a AliExpress. Find my orders here. Orders. AliExpress website just kills me. Okay, so this is basically an Ender 3 MK52 bed is what it is. So here it is right here. It's by FiSec, and it has the embedded magnets just like a Prusa MK52 bed does. It's 24 volts, which is really nice. But again, it is only $23. It's way, way cheaper because a Prusa bed is going to run 50 bucks for an MK52 bed. Let me look on here real quick. MK52 bed. An MK52 bed is what the Prusa Mark 3S uses. Yeah, see, I mean, 60 bucks, $41 with shipping. So I'm saving, 20 bucks on that. But also the spring sheets are way cheaper, $15 and 23. This I did double coated PEI one to check it out, and I like that one. And then just a regular PEI sheet. I think I also bought some blanks from another website because I do have some Gecko Tech that I want to put on there, and it was cheaper just to buy the blank and the Gecko Tech separately and put it on myself. So that's why I'm doing. And come on. So yeah, I'm able to reduce the cost a lot. So the carriage is only $21. I think I ended up getting it cheaper than that when I last looked. Let me see here real quick. I want to say it was like, oh yeah, it's 19. Yeah, so here it is here. 19 bucks, black bed, like it being black, because I have black extrusion from the, I tore apart the K280 Delta printer, and it's all black extrusion, so we're gonna have a black bed. It'll look really nice together. And yeah, it was 19 bucks. I think the same bed on, I was maybe 17 or 18 with like $5 shipping. Well, this is free Prime shipping. So I went ahead and bought some of these. All I need to do is print out my stencil and drill holes in this for mounting it. It will still be smaller than the bed is by a few, about 10 or 15 mil, I think 10 mil on each side, which is great because then, because it's, yeah, actually it's more than that. So it's 219, so 10, almost 20 mil in total, so 10 on each side it's smaller than the actual heated bed, which is good. Don't want to have a carriage large in the bed. It would look funny. Yeah, so all I have to do is drill out 4 holes into this. It'll work out great. And well, I'm hoping it does. I've got the heated beds coming in. No idea when those will be here. Let me track this, see what it says here. I don't think I added this to my app track order. It's going. Internet's being a little slow today. Surprise, surprise. Departed a country of origin. So departed China, on his way to the US now. And that was on the 1st of August. So yeah, probably be like a month or so till these come in. So my goal was to kind of get the printers built or going at least. I have the extrusion. I need to cut down these were the Z gantry. These are 1100 millimeters, and these are going to be cut down for part of it. So I have a bunch of pieces already, all ready to go. And I'm not cutting these down. These are, well, how big are these ones? These are 358 millimeters. So these are going to be I have 9 here, and these are going to be the X front and back, and the X facing bar at the top of the Z gantry. That's what all of these are going to be. And it's a nice like matte color. I really like it. And then I have a few here to cut down to make up for the rest. These ones are shiny, so I'm gonna finagle these some way that I can put these where they're gonna hide a little more. But yeah, they're close. They're not perfect, but it will work out in the end. So I have all the extrusion I need. I just need to check, which I've checked like several times on design. I'm just very nervous to start cutting before I double check the design again. But I still need to order the smooth rods for all 3 of those printers. I need to order smooth rods, and I haven't decided if I'm going to get just huge ones and cut them down or order exactly to size. I'm going to do kind of a cost analysis on how that's going to be, because if you order from certain places on like eBay, they put it into like a very, very heavy duty cardboard tube so that they don't get bent in shipment, and that's always something to worry about, is it getting bent. So if I get in the 1200 millimeter lengths, then that will be easy enough to cut down, and I can get 3 rods out of one of those. Or do I just get everything cut perfectly to size and just do it, just have it done for somebody else, basically? I don't know. I'm going to figure that out. But yeah, and I have to print and test out some of the final feet. I made a very rough design, sent that off to Aaron, and he transformerized it, as we've kind of been saying, and made it look a lot better. And so it's got several points of contact to hold, because instead of having the 2040 on the front and then a 2020 on the side, it's going to be a 2020 and a 2020, and there will be a bracket kind of doing a stepping action that connects the top bar, connects to the sidebar, connects under the sidebar, and then has the foot on it as well. And that will give us the support we need for those front bars. And I also have these little corners that he made I'm using on my current one. So they look kind of like these little printed corners here. These are what's going to go on top of the 2020 here, and the other part here, as they stack on each other, it will be able to hold on to that from that side. And because it is V-slot, I will be able to tap it with a M5 bolt. I don't need to worry about using some M6s, because they have, that's what V-slot, most of the V-slots are for M5s. T-slots are for M6s on the hole that's down the middle of them. That's a generality, or whatever that is. That's a general statement, because not all of them are saying, like, I know Mussolinis are different, or Mussinis, however you say that. I say Mussolinis, whatever. I think theirs are all for an M5, whether it's T-slot or V-slot. So again, it varies on the brand, but all the ones that I have either gotten off of other printers I've salvaged, or that I buy from Ziltech, which is pretty much I always buy my extrusions from, those are all T-slot, M6, V-slot, M5. So makes it really easy to figure that out. But I think I'm about ready, and I did get a ton of PETG in. I got a bunch of different colors. I got some new colors from Ziltech. They have like a orangish red, a translucent green, which I thought would be kind of cool. I also got from Paramount, I got Decepticon red and Autobot blue. So I'm thinking about doing each one of those colors and kind of going from there. So I don't think I'm going to do those ones multicolored like I did Megatron, just because that takes forever to print. Even though PETG works so well with the palette, it works way better than PLA, to be honest. So I don't know if I'm going to do multicolored prints for those other printers or not. I don't necessarily I'm going to keep all of them, but I just want to use up the parts that I have laying around. I've got the boards already. I've got most all the parts. I just have to worry about the bed situation and the smooth rods. Bearings as well. I did get some IKO bearings from Triangle Labs. So they're Triangle Labs branded IKOs. They look legit. I'll be using those on the y-axis, and we'll find out how they work on the smooth rods when they come in. So I'm kind of hoping that they work out well, because I'm a little worried on the super cheap ones that I bought before from just some random seller on AliExpress, or even some that are from Forgertech. They've got a fair bit of play in them. But the Zildtech ones actually are have a very nice tolerance to them. They're very close. I have zero wiggle on, I replaced the ones in Megatron. Zero wiggle on there for him, so that's great. And I'm using all of those on the Bear except for the Y. I'm trying out those Triangle Labs IKOs because I think they were I want to say they were $350 or $450 a piece. I bought 6. I wanted to be able to 2 beds basically out of 6, and or you could do you can do the X and Y of a printer with the 6, because the Z require 4 on its own. You need 10 bearings to do a Prusa style Bear or Prusa build. You need 10 bearings for that. So I figured I'd buy 6, see how they are. If they're really that much better than the Zildtech ones, then I will by all means swap them out. If not, then that's it. I mean, I'll just keep buying the Zildtech ones because they're like pretty cheap. I'm still dropping frames, guys. I'm very sorry about that. I didn't think I'd be dropping frames down at 1.8 megs, but I guess if I'm doing 1080p streaming, again, if you are seeing any glitches right now, please go ahead and down the quality down to 720p or 480. I'm not really showing anything off that needs it. I went all the way down to 700K on that one. So yeah, I am seeing a significant drop here. So if you are having any problems, go ahead and downgrade the quality of the stream. That should make it a little bit better. But yeah, it's just being a weird night. I don't know why. Nothing's downloading. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's downloading. Calculator out there. They're working. Oh yeah, let me slice a new. I'm gonna do 2 of these again. I'm gonna slow it way down again because these printed really well at 15. Actually, I just want to do 1. Delete that one. Print. No, I don't print. Just go down to 40. 360. Oh, sorry about that, Dan. I was hoping it wasn't that much. No, not the camera. This is the exact same stream setup I use. It's just my internet is fluctuating. I'm watching it right here. You can see your bitrate in Streamlabs on how fast you're uploading, and my uploads right now are just garbage. So that's okay. Again, I'm not showing anything off, kind of more talking today, and it's going to be a shorter stream. I'm not doing a big 4-hour deal tonight. Not at all. Oh. Card here. Feels really good to be printing again on my oldest 3D printer. So I'm printing on the FT5 ABS, fully enclosed, has a carbon filter. I mean, yes, the 12-volt silicone head takes a couple minutes to get up to 100 degrees Celsius, but I don't really care. It can go as long as it wants because smiling happy face. Thanks, Dan. And welcome. I didn't say hey to you. And then Chris Cornish has shown up. Hello and welcome to the army of Chris's. that watch my stream. We just need to get more cocky, but he's probably recovering from he had a wedding shoot today, I think. So he's probably recovering from that or already started his editing process. But yeah, I mean, putting on the FT5, it's really nice to kind of have it back in the saddle. 4. Okay. I am debating though on upgrading its board. I don't know why I would do it because it works just fine. Or maybe throw some 22/8s in there. I'm still running the old school LV 5429s, 5920 something. I don't know. Old chips. Which ones are these? I still have 2 more here. The LV 8729. That's what they are. So they are these crazy old chips. So these were, again, I bought these quite a long time. These have been written there for probably 3 years now. And these were the chips to buy after the DRV 8825s and the 2100s just came out. But the 2100s had their issues. You had to solder them or cut pins off or do some weird jumpers. You had to do weird things with 2100s. Where these were a drop-in replacement, like a 22/8 or 22/9 is nowadays, for A498s or DRV 8825s. They're a little quieter than those. They're not as quiet as the 2100 or 22/8, but they are more quiet, and they still have enough torque on them to run your, or enough, not voltage, what is it? It has enough, whatever it's called, for you to be able to run 2 motors off 1 stepper driver, because that was always a concern. See water. All right, go fill them up. Good night. But yeah, they're very, very old drivers, and they work. I'm a big person of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Especially because I have modified the FT5 so much. Maybe throwing I don't know how much better quality I'll get a 32-bit board there than what I have now, because I actually pulled this off. So this is a because never settle shame. I know, I get it. So this is a carbon filled flexible filament that I just pulled off the FT5, and this stuff came in a maker box, is just gorgeous. I mean, it printed so well, no stringing at all, and this was the 15 millimeters a second. Yeah, this thing did take a hot minute to print, but I mean, it flexes really nice. You can see I haven't cleaned off the glue stick yet because it's print on PEI. But even like the overhangs on it, just really nice. Come on, focus on my hand here. And over where the supports were, I mean, this thing came out beautifully, and I'm very impressed with it. And it kind of makes me wonder, well, why change it? You know, again, so one of the viewers, Jesse Foreman, is sending me a whole bunch of his old FT5 parts to include a Maker 713 bed. So it kind of has me thinking, what should I do? Should I just get a sheet of 3M sticky? Because my 12-volt silicone heater doesn't have adhesive backing to it. It is just a plain old 12-volt heater that I have sandwiched between the old build plate, a piece of cork for insulation and isolation from the old aluminum print bed and heated bed, then the silicone sheet, then a piece of glass sandwiched on top of that. And that is my build plate sandwich. I've done a video on it and how I did that and everything. Again, it works really well, but you know, having an adhesive backed one, I could stick it on the bottom of that new build plate and use that, maybe throw a flex system on there and get rid of all the glass sheets, because I have a ton of glass sheets for that printer and they are heavy. The name of the game right now is to reduce weight of all my stuff. So, I mean, I've got, right now on there is a PEI sheet. And then I've got a Folgertech build sheet one. We have a Geckotech build sheet one. There's another PI one here. I think I have a whole stack of these 12-inch by 12-inch mirrors and glass sheets. And I gotta say, they are just stupid heavy. So if I would upgrade to a flexible build sheet system, I do still have, I think I got rid of it because I ruined it. I did have a ultra base for it, but I did ruin that with some polycarbonate. Don't think I should have printed polycarbonate on it, but hey, you live and you learn. But I would like to buy another ultra base sheet for it. But again, I could put a heated pad on there and use, I mean, I have a 300 by 300 flexible sheet I can throw on there now. So it's just, I kind of weighing the pros and cons of it and whatnot. Oh, very nice, Dan. That's pretty cool. He's a good guy. I mean, said he's hooking me up with all his old ACM parts that he has, and the build plate. I mean, 713 maker plate, and that's $60 alone. So there's a bunch of other stuff he threw in there as well. So I'm pretty stoked once I get that to go ahead and sit down and figure out, okay, what am I going to end up doing with the FT5? And 2. Good night. And then I have this HE3D from the K280. I have that heated bed sitting around it. I don't think I'm ever going to build another Delta. And then I do have a bunch of the old red PCB heated beds. So again, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with all that stuff. I might just need to make a box and do a care package to somebody like, hey, who wants to build a bunch of printers? Here's stuff. Because I just don't need them anymore. I did finish up the G-Tech A10. So I went ahead and put in the newer MKS S-Gen L board, and that is the 32-bit version of, this is the old MKS Gen L V1 board. This is a great board. I'm using it in several different printers, but for some reason, this board was running the motors stupid hot. And talking to Keith, my Marlin guy, basically said that there could be an issue with some of the pin or some of the traces in there or something, because again, it is old. I've used it in several printers now. This did come out of the K280 because the board that came with that one was bad, so I put this one in instead to get that functioning. This is also the same board that's running here on the, this is a Gen L? This is just an MKS Gen V14 in the Hypercube. I'm thinking about just throwing an SKR in there to make my life a little bit easier, do 32-bit. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the Hypercube or not. So that's another one I'm not too sure I'm going to do because it is a fully custom one. So Dan, if you're going to use them, I might hold you to that because I don't want to throw things away, but I can't really sell them here because no one really builds custom printers here. That's kind of my issue. So I might end up just seeing, okay, hey, who wants what? And, help me out with shipping and I'll get it to you. We'll kind of see what happens with all that. But I am, again, going through, getting rid of some printers, making space, and moving on from there. I just need to get the printers gone. I need to finish up these 2 builds, the Bear and the, actually I'm gonna go ahead and put Master Crane on a shelf here real soon, but I need to finish up the Bear and the BLV. Those are my main priorities for the next probably month, is to get those done and working and reliably. Then I gotta find a place for the BLV because I don't have anywhere to put it. It's too big for any of my shelves. I can't let my wife hear this. I have no idea where to put this printer. So maybe under the desk, over to the side there maybe. I don't really know. Or maybe right here where I keep my box of stuff. I just have all my stacked IKEA containers and all my current projects here to work on. Maybe I could put it here. It would fit. I wouldn't trip over it too much, I don't think. It is also going to be fully enclosed. So I do need to work on the enclosure for that at some point. Once I get the heated bed finished up and I know where all the wiring is done and we're good to go, I'll go ahead and create the panels for it and get those cut to size. Well, they already cut the size. I just need to notch them to where wires are going through, any bypasses are, and then do the electronics planning for the back panel. Figure out I'm going to put the board and everything else back there, make sure everything is in there properly, and kind of go from there. But I really want that heated bed to come in so that I can attach it, drill out the Mix 6, the tooling plate that I got for it and then move on from there. So that is moving along at a snail's pace right now. On our kitchen table. I don't have enough space, Dan. Actually, we don't really use the kitchen table. We eat in the dining room, so maybe I could. Oh. But yeah, things are coming together pretty nicely. We're cleaning out the house, which is what we need to do. We want to get some new things when we move, and we're gonna need to reduce weight to be able to do that. Let's see what else here. It's really cans over there. Into my trash cans. I didn't put them back where I usually keep them at. Hmm. Yeah, talk about the PETG. I need to look at my colors. I also need to finish up. I definitely want to finish up. I move in a year, so I need to finish up some loose ends, and I do have about 15 rolls of filament that I need to test. And I just took a break from YouTube for a while. Kind of lost motivation for doing the filament reviews, but I'm kind of feeling it again, especially now that I have new printers to test them on and things like that. So I'm gonna kind of see what I want to do. Now that I have the FT5 working really well with the dual Z and it homes perfectly every time, it runs every time, I know I have at least one roll of ABX from Coex I still need to test. I have a roll of ASA from eSun that I need to test. And I think that's it. Everything else is standard PLA or PETG. I did order, sadly, I did go ahead and reorder some Amazon filament a while ago, and the Amazon filament that I got just recently is not the greatest for PETG. It's what I'm using on the BLV. It was very, very, had a lot of moisture in it, so I had to dry that out for a while in order to get that working again. But either way, it does print fine after that. But yeah, I just need to get to that. I do want to do some more painting. I have some masks that I did print just not too long ago. Well, they're reprints. So if you guys saw my video on the slicer mask, which is right here from BioShock, and then I have this is Casey Jones mask from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I went ahead and did my first like dirty wash on that, and then I went ahead and did a spray paint with Rub and Buff on this slicer mask. Well, I have another slicer mask that I printed, and this one I was able to do in one piece because I realized that would actually fit on my 400 mil tall printer. These actually do fit. And so I printed it all in one go, and my goal now is to just give it a quick sanding down, use some self-etching primer on it, and airbrush this one, I think. I want to airbrush this one. But yeah, I really do like these slicer masks. BioShock is one of my favorite games of all time. I love playing that game. And I just think they brought it out on PS4. I got that for free with the PS4 club thing. But yeah, definitely needs a little bit of sanding down. I'm not going to Bondo, I don't think, because I'm fine with the lines being there. It's more about me figuring out how to paint well with the airbrush kit rather than my sanding skills. And I do not have the patience for sanding right now. So quick sanding, self-etching primer, a couple coats of that to kind of take up any of the layer lines you see, especially up here at the top. Get a little bit of wiggle when you have a moving bed. This would have been better to print on the FT5, but this is printed on the Tornado. And again, a little bit, you can see the banding up there a little bit, but that's going to happen on a moving bed. But yeah, so that is something I'd want to do before I move. I want to just kind of hone in my painting skills. And I've been asking around the Discord to see if anybody has anything. Oh, Darren, hey. And Andre, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. I am looking for some interesting, like not too complex, but some interesting models to print either in resin or in like a FDM printing. And I want to kind of hone in my my airbrush skills. I know I'm not the best artist in the world. I know that, but I kind of want to just, I don't know. I need to practice. And the way to practice is to do. So I need to figure out some models to to do that with. And I think I could do something cool with this. It'll be similar to that one, but I'm going to use that white came out like yellow. I do have a nice pure white that I can use to kind of give this its one over and then do the airbrush the details. So play with that, see what happens. But that is a way future project. I don't know how far in the future that is a project, but it is a far project. And I just don't know when I'm going to round to doing that. I would like to. Bob, what's up? Andre, yes. So one of the guys on my Discord went ahead and made me this bed for Megatron, my custom 3D printer, so that I can differentiate it when I use this or when I use the Prusa. It's using the exact same bed, and it's using Prusa build sheets on it. But when you slice, you kind of get confused. So I'm really a big fan of custom bed images, especially in Prusa Slicer. It never really bothered me in Simplify 3D because the bed size always just changes. But because there are bed images already in this slicer, number one, it looks really good. And number two, I got used to it. So that's why he did that for me. It was a pretty nice surprise. What else we got going on here? What's this? Somebody went ahead and slid into the server. I see that on Discord. Welcome to the Discord server. Again, if you guys want to hang out with us, talk about projects, collab on some stuff, go ahead and head down to the Discord, join in there. We talk about everything. We do troubleshooting on 3D printers. I'm running the 3D printer challenge right now. There's just so much going on. I need to work on that here soon. Get the final things needed for judging and whatnot. So I have to work on that. MCU mask, Iron Man. Yeah, I have. They do have 1,000 of them. I have a set of Wicked colors, just a basic set of colors to use. So I'm not doing anything too crazy. I do have the Cade 6 mask. That is another one that I want to do here soon. I need to reprint the jaw. But I do have Cade 6 printed in 2 halves because this is the max build size for a 300 bed that you can get. I don't have any printers bigger than that. It does not fit, I don't think. I think it's a little too small for my melon. See if I can get this lined up again here. Line those up like that. Yeah, it's just a little bit too tight for my head. I split it and then put it on, and it works, and it fits. So, but I can't flip my head in it to begin with. I can hold it back together. Yeah, it's just a little too tight. I got a big old nose too, but this is the top half of Cade 6 mask. The jaw links in under here. This is actually a little bit shorter. It links under here and comes down right below here. That's kind of where his jaw goes. I really wanted to be able to wear this, but it's just, I can feel it where it holds me at. You can feel that it's too tight. This piece right here in the front, this holds onto my head, and I can feel this in the back of my head. So it would be really cool to be able to wear it, but I won't be able to wear it. But this is also something I kind of want to airbrush because I want this to be one of the pieces on my back wall here. So this is going to take sanding. I don't know how much Bondo I'm actually going to do to it. I don't know how much Bondo I even have, to be honest, but at least get the elephant foot off of part of it here and get everything matched up. I'm trying to get rid of that middle line at least, but the layer lines I'm fine with. These took forever to print, and I'm just excited to actually finish it. But I need to reprint the jaws. I might make that a priority this week, is to go ahead and get those finished up. And then once the jaw is finished, I can start the video on that and start getting everything ready and do the painting on it. It's going to be all, I think I'll do all airbrush. Well, I'll do just a base coat, obviously self-etching primer. And then I think white is the primary color for the top of the skull, for the top of the helmet here. And he's got his unicorn horn, and the jaw is gray. There's a bit of red in there as well. So I don't know, figure it out, see how it goes from there. Andre, it takes a long time. Each half of that took 27 hours, I want to say. I think it was 27 hours, and then the two jaw pieces together was 16 hours. I'm going to print the jaw pieces alone because actually they both had a support failure because they're not easy to print. So this is how much that touched the build bed, just that little bit. So they were stood like this up, support under here, under this part, and here. And on both of them, the support right there failed. And you can see there's the delamination where that failed. And there's a little bit of support up here under this front part of the jaw. But these go and line up right there, like that. I can't see myself. But the jaw comes out far enough. It's just the head's a little too small. So maybe one day I'll get a reliable 400 millimeter bed that I can actually do it on, or figure out how to slice the horn off and print the horn separately as one piece and go from there. I'm not very good at modeling that. There are several people in the Discord that are into a lot of cosplay. Riley being probably the biggest one. He's now making his own different styles of Stormtrooper helmets and selling those. Because there's a few other ones that he makes, Deadpool and things like that. Deathstroke. There's quite a few. He's doing Boba Fett as well, and he's doing some. Or he wasn't a Stormtrooper. He's doing custom Mandalorian helmets right now. So he's got a couple different ones of that he's doing. There's traditional Boba Fett, and then some other ones that he's making, naming them, things like that. So that's really cool. There's a few other people that are making them as well, like Blender and whatnot. That's over my head. I have not been able to figure that out yet. So I will continue to ride on the backs of giants and print what they create, because I can print. Darren, I haven't figured that out. So again, there are people who have made them in Blender, and I just got OneRaz. What's up? I just got a Xbox 360 Kinect. I'm trying to. I know there's programs out there that use it. Maybe I try and use that to get a bust of myself, and get that into a software, clean it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be super great, but just to get a bust of myself that I could size helmets with. And that's the one thing is there's a program called is it Armor Smith or Helmet Smith or something like that. Anyways, it's to help you with the Andre, hop on to the Discord down below and you can contact him. He's on there. You'll see a lot of his posts in the cosplay channel. You can send him a message on there, or he does have an Etsy shop. He's on Facebook, but I would just go to the Discord first and either tag him or just you can DM him on there. But that program was like $30, and I didn't want to do it for one helmet because also I don't really know what I'm doing with it. So I just need to kind of figure that out. Don't you need at least 2 360 Kinect cams? I don't know, Andre. I don't know. I have a friend. He didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me, and I want to try to use it for that. I thought you could print like a pistol grip with it and have one person scan you while you sit still. I thought that was one of the programs that I saw. So I was thinking about if I figure that out, do that, have my wife scan me in, and kind of go from there. Kind of see. So I think it's like Riley, or it's Amden, something like that. Let me look right here. General down to we're good at cosplay. It's Riley Andem. That's what he's in there on. Yeah, you can see some of the helmets he's working on, past projects he's done. But again, you can shoot him a DM, and he prints them, paints them, finishes them, and sends it to you. He actually gave away one of his. He actually used this, but he went ahead and made a Cade 6 mask for me and gave that away to one of my competitions. It was 15K when I had 15,000 subscribers. I think he did that. But yeah, that was really cool of him to finish a helmet for me and send that out. So yeah, Andre, I'll have to look into it again, but I could have swore that it was basically you just have to start in one position and you basically just become one of those basically like a turntable where the person sits still, and the person scanning kind of just goes around and scans you. I think. Again, I don't know. I need to look into it. I literally just got it this past week, and I want to check it out and see how it goes. Freak, what's up, dude? You were here for me to finish because it's been an hour. I said I would do an hour tonight, and that's what the wife gave me. Because again, it is our anniversary. I wanted to hop on. Didn't do a stream last night because I don't have any of my parts. And the parts that I did have, I used on Monday's stream. So I don't really have anything else because I repaired Megatron on Monday. So I don't really have anything else to work on right now, but I will have a good night, Dan. Again, Monday, I have mail coming in. So just from what I looked in the tracking numbers, it's good stuff. It's everything I need to finish the bear. Pretty sure it is. And then hoping for some more BLV parts, which I don't think are here. But I think I do have some of the parts to make more of the Megatron build. And I'm going to go ahead and work on that. Once I confirm I have most or all the parts in, I will start printing things and order the smooth rods once I confirm the lengths that I'm using. I think I'm doing 400 for everything, kind of just to make it easy, and it's like 360 or whatever for the X, something like that. Either way, I just want to make sure I have all of the measurements correct, and I'll go ahead and order all the smooth rods, start my build, start printing everything for those printers, and move from there. One thing I was thinking about, instead of making one of those a direct drive, is to use one of those Y splitters. So a 2-in-1, but I need to figure out, I like the bear carriage a lot, but I need to see if someone made a bear carriage that's Bowden, because I'm just using the bear carriage on Megatron. I mean, I'm not gonna mess with perfection. It is a awesome direct drive extruder, but I need it in a Bowden setup so that I can mount 2 extruders on the top to do the 2-in, 1-out setup. I've never done one of those before, and I know like they have the G-Tech A10M, which is their mixing one, which does the 2 filaments. I think it'd be fun to play with. I've never done it before, and can't see a reason why not to try. So yeah, I need to find a setup, a hot end setup for the bear that would fit that. And I don't know if one exists. I might hit up Georgie with a DM on Twitter and say, hey, have you made one, or do you know anybody that's made one for this? I know it's kind of a weird thing to ask, but maybe he already has one. He just hasn't released it or something like that. But I would like to get his input on there rather than me designing something very janky. His will actually look really good. So I need to check that out. I did print her out roses a couple years ago, actually. I think it was maybe 3 years ago. I printed her out a bouquet of roses, and she thought it was nice, but that was it. I mean, she's not really a flower girl, so kind of makes my life easy. She also doesn't like jewelry. Cha-ching! So I get out 2 ways for that. And she doesn't really like flowers, so they just die. So it's easy enough. But also the stream is very, very, very choppy today, and I do apologize for that. My internet is being goofy. I will reset all the routers and everything. But I will be back Monday night with, again, hopefully finishing the bear build, which will be awesome. I cannot wait to finish that up and get printing on that. Now that is a traditional bear build. So I'm using all the bear parts for it, and I'm using all Prusa parts, DIY. I'm not buying them from Prusa, piecemealing them in order to make that. And I wanted to make a cheaper bear printer the same way as I made the cheaper Mark III's right here. Saved about $250, almost $300 on that build versus buying one straight from Prusa. So it can be done thanks to open source, which is great. You just have to be able to find the parts you need. So that bear build is my attempt at making a cheaper bear that works just as good. Megatron was my attempt to use some bear parts and custom parts to make a printer that is just as good as the Mark III. 100% does that, and it's way cheaper. I think it's about, without the LDO motors, I think it's like $350, maybe $400 tops for that. Somebody asked me, I need to put together a spreadsheet. Second. Clear my throat there. I need to put a build sheet together on that so I can kind of put the prices out. So you kind of have an idea of what you need to buy in order to do that. I recycled a printer to get most everything off of there. Power supply, motors, smooth rods, all that stuff. Got all that from another printer. So that worked out well for me to revitalize an old printer. But if you don't have that, you want to build it from scratch, I'm going to put together a BOM for that as well. I just need to spend a night not watching YouTube and working on those STLs, exporting them to upload, and working on that BOM list. So maybe I'll do that again one night this week while I have the time off of work, or maybe one afternoon, put the kids down, little ones down for a nap. Kids will be done with school in the morning. My kids are in school already. They just finished their first week last week. It's all remote learning. So we pretty much finish everything in the mornings, and they have like elective Zoom calls in the afternoon. But all in all, it's been working out pretty well for them. And yeah, so I want to get that. I'm going to make a to-do list here probably and get things finished up on those builds. So that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out. It's always a pleasure to kind of get away from being alone and being virtually with all of you guys that are watching the streams and interacting with me. I really appreciate it. And you guys can see is what's going on in the shop. Again, these are my Saturday nights. I don't plan every one of them. It's more of just kind of hanging out, seeing what everyone's doing. If anybody has any questions, these are more very open calls. And it's on my, I guess Mondays and Fridays are my more structured streams, which I have something to do. And it's because I just don't feel like doing videos right now. I have a lot to do, but I haven't done any yet. Once I finish these builds, we'll go back to doing some more builds and some more traditional videos, kind of go from there. Again, if you want to join in the Discord, down below is how you can do that. If you want to help out the channel, patrons really make the channel run. If you want to become a patron, there's a link down to Patreon as well. Other ways you can support the channel is affiliate links, discount codes. Make sure you check those out if you're planning on doing a build or buying some filament or anything like that. Those help out the channel. And again, you can save a couple bucks. So yeah, that's it. So I will catch you guys later. Again, Monday night, I'll be streaming. Make sure